Okay, my dear brothers and sisters, I have made a little prophecy update as we're closing this year 2025. In this video, I choose to call Midnight Prophecy Update. And it will regard some things relating to prophecy from Sweden, a prophecy from Venezuela, and it relates to the Ukraine war, and also, once again, a commentary on this Feast of Trumpets thing that we have seen here, and also some of my own experiences. But let's start with Sweden. Earlier in a video called Prophecy Update Alert, I talked about a video by a guy called Kenneth Mackey. He made a prophecy in the mid-90s. I have checked these sources, I've talked to him several times, and he predicted drones, for example, many years before they were in existence, and he predicted Sweden joining NATO without a referendum. But the last thing he predicted before a war breaks out between Russia and Sweden, which will be this tribulation war, global war, and there will be a thing where they will be discussing about sending the Swedish fighter jet Gripen into something. And we have seen this in the pipe for years. They start to send Gripen fighter jets down to some patrolling missions in Ukraine, but now it's really come full circle to total completion. October 24th, and Zelensky was in Sweden, and the Swedish Prime Minister said that they want to give 100 of these fighter jets to Ukraine. This is a huge deal, and they even say they want to finance it by taking these frozen Russian assets, hundreds of billions of frozen Russian assets that the European Union has hold. So this basically means that they want to take stolen money from Russia, give it to Sweden to pay for 100 fighter jets which have the nuclear carrying capacity, and they call this the best fighter jet in the world. They have no restrictions on how to use it. You can send it deep into Russia according to the wording that we have. So this is really dangerous. Sweden is very close to Russia, and so this 100 fighter jets with nuclear carrying capacity that they want to give to Ukraine for, that have no limitation how even go into Russia. It's very dangerous, and they're gonna take it from Russia's own frozen money. It really plays along with one of my first videos, which was visions that the Lord gave me over 100 times about Russia invading Sweden, long before this was even feasible. So yeah, that's the update from just the last weeks here. Then about Venezuela, I saw this video, and they say that this saint or woman, Maria Esperanza, which had many famous apparitions and prophecies, she said over 20 years ago that it will start in Venezuela. I checked it out. She has actually made predictions that foretold the 9/11 attacks about two huge towers with black smoke all around them when she was over there in New York. 2 times she had prophecies about this. One was just weeks before it happened in 9/11 attacks in New York. And she said it will start here, meaning Venezuela. Exactly what will start was, I don't think it's really clear, but it has to do with the end times or tribulation or this kind of stuff. It will start here, she has said, years before this was feasible. And now we see that this war situation may start there. Trump is threatening war with Venezuela, and it's very evident he drives to have a war there. And also the Russians are saying we are side by side, shoulder by shoulder with Venezuela. So it's an interesting thing in Venezuela, these prophecies. So why am I calling this video Midnight Update Prophecies? Because this Feast of Trumpets, that people were saying the rapture would happen this year on Feast of Trumpets, nothing happened. If we look at Matthew, it says about 10 virgins that they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. They don't have the Holy Spirit with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamp. They are having the Holy Spirit. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. So he's being delayed. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out and meet him. So at midnight they're saying he is coming. But there's also information here that he has been delayed. So as was shown in one of my videos, Feast of Trumpets editions, earlier, there was people who got some prophecies equating midnight to Feast of Trumpets because of the 4 night watches, 4 seasons. Midnight is the start of the new day, and Feast of Trumpets is the start of the new year in the Jewish calendar. So this equation of the midnight to the new year would equate midnight with the Feast of Trumpets. So according to my take here, all these people saying that the rapture will come, September 23, Rosh Hashanah, even very seasoned, serious people were discussing it. Everybody have heard about it. Everybody knew that this is something that is known. You know, I think nobody missed this, of believers at least. And then nothing happened. My take is, was this the midnight prophecy here? And at midnight there was a cry made, he is coming. Could this been the Feast of Trumpets that people are saying, now he's coming? But he was delayed. While the bridegroom was tarried, was delayed, they all slumbered and slept. That's just my take, and I think that maybe this midnight reference in Matthew 25 has occurred with the Feast of Trumpets, because it was a huge thing. Everybody heard about it. Many people believed it would or could happen at that time. Then on the Ukraine war radar, the next thing here is just we got to keep an eye on the peace, of course. We have American efforts that are the greatest efforts we've seen in trying to make these peace talks. We're not there yet. They're not really getting along. But the efforts and what's on the table is kind of new here. This talk about the peace treaty. So I think it's good to follow this along, because of course we know that we heard it many times. When they say peace and safety, then some destruction comes upon them. So 1 Thessalonians 5:3. Right, so we'll see. Follow this peace process. Here's some of my own things that I've experienced I want to share. Also an update here. I've shared in 3 videos. My video Sky Trumpets Rise, my Feast of Trumpets Confirmation, and Prophecy Failure, a personal update about trumpet sounds that me and my son have heard, right? 7 times in total this has occurred. 7 is the God's number of completion, so I expect it not to happen more times. I've showed you that me and my son heard it 3 times, and then my son heard it 3 times in one of my last videos. But I forgot to show you that it was 458 days between the first time I heard it with my son together and the first time he heard it. But what I forgot to show in my video here was, I also made a calculation here in the video about the first time I ever heard it until the last time we heard it or he heard it. That was 548 days. So 458 and 548 is almost the same number. What also I think it was kind of a confirmation here for me was that through these numbers that I showed you in this video, I got the chapters Isaiah 42 and Isaiah 54. And I said that these are rapture-related chapters. And what I didn't tell you in this video, because I forgot it, was that he talks about the travail, woman in travail with child. Isaiah 54 says, thou that did not travail with child. And Isaiah 42 says, now I will cry like a travailing woman. So we have the both same things, a woman in travail, in these 2 chapters that I got in this way, which for me I interpret as a confirmation. Because we see, you know, that the same chapter again, when they say peace and safety, then some destruction comes upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. This is one of the most famous rapture chapters, right? 1 Thessalonians 5:3 here. And also it's referencing Matthew 24, the end times chapter, and these are the beginnings of birth pains, talking about the tribulation. And also, what you want to remember, I had one of my earlier videos a year ago, I had a video, same dream twice, tribulation starting, where I got that verse, Matthew 24:8, so about a woman in birth pains, woman in travail. Yeah, just to sum some things up. But I think what I wanted to say is we really want to be focusing on being the 5 wise virgins, keeping us filled with Holy Spirit, and really keeping a lookout, because I think it could happen anytime. And I think this midnight time we are maybe very close. So just stay close to the Lord, put all your faith in Him and what He did for us, and put 100% of your faith in the words of Jesus and in Him. And just pray that you're worthy to escape. And I want to say thank you so much for watching, and God bless you all, and I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope to be back with another video shortly. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.